now we have our guest. I would start the introduction by saying, if you watch your cable TV very well, she's probably one of the popular faces.
And if you don't watch TV,
you must have watched that streaming platform that is African.
Yes, sir.
You know, and they have one big TV show. Our guest is the lead actress. She's actually the face. She's actually the series on its own. Our guest is an actress, a musician, a model, and an ex-beauty queen.
That music I could test.
She's no other than, drum rolls, Benisola Scarlet Shotade Gomez, aka Wura.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Great.
Okay, so before we go into the questions, because I know Baron has a few different ways eyeing her, I'll just read a bit of what we know that she's done. Of course, this is not exhaustive. So, Bemisola Scarlet Shotade Gomez is a popular award-winning actress, singer, model, and ex-beauty queen. She's quite accomplished, actually.
Thank you.
Well, she's been making waves in the entertainment industry. She was born in May 12, 1991 in Lagos. She graduated from the University of Lagos. Scarlett was also involved in a lot of pageants, including Miss Nigeria, MBJN, Miss, and she was also a Miss Global Nigeria first runner-up. Wow. After her pageant win in 2012, Scarlett started a brief stint as a music video model. I wanted to say vixen actually, but
she's a model.
Vixen is a
model.
actually.
She also recorded her first single on the DJ Clem produced song Catch Me in 2012. Her breakthrough movie in the Nigerian movie industry was Dollhouse by Kayode Peter, and she's featured in movies like Hey, Casino, Missing Ribs, Surrogate, In the Bottle, and Wura, where she played the lead role. Scarlett Gomez has also been recognized for her incredible performances, earning nominations such as the African Magic Viewers' Choice Awards, AMVC, and Scream All Youth Awards.
We present to you.
Lovely. The beautiful.
Bemisola
The respectable.
Shotade
The spectacled.
Please, studio, Anno.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wow.
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank
for someone to have achieved all
That's
this,
a lot.
you know, it's a
Thank
lot.
you.
It's a lot. It's a lot. This is not just trying to curry your favor or make you look more good than you are, but it's actually an achievement,
Thank you so
which is
much.
worthy
It
of
means a
all
lot
their
to me.
compliments.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, when you were reading through, I just saw X means this, X means that, X means, and if our listeners, well, they can see the video. They can see the video. When you see the video, you will tell, because from her gate you can tell that she's actually a beauty
Thank
queen.
you.
But she didn't wave.
Thank you.
You didn't wave. Come on.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
My question, I've always wanted to know, how did Scarlett come by? Is it the name your dad gave to you? Is it just a stage name, you know?
Okay, so a lot of people think Scarlett is a stage name. It's not a stage name. It was mother given. I always like to say that I think my mom was trying to show off that she read English.
Okay.
And she wanted people to know was why she gave me an English name. But I thank God she gave me the name because, I mean, it's cute and I didn't have to look for a stage name. So
Interesting.
It's working.
so it's mother given actually.
Thank you, mommy.
Thank you very much, mommy, if you're listening.
So tell us, I mean, from beauty pageant to video vixen, music video vixen, and now
She even sang
Filmmaking.
Catch Me. She was a musician.
even a musician. So how did film come by? How did Nollywood catch you? Or how did you get into Nollywood, as the case may be?
Or you used the song Catch Me to tell Nollywood to do
I'm
something.
willing to be caught.
Well, for me, I wanted to be a newscaster. To be
Interesting.
honest, yes, I wanted to be a newscaster or a presenter, but every other thing was a means to an end for me. It was me as a young Nigerian youth looking at it like, okay, it's just me and my brother left. We lost our dad when I was 8. And, you know, we just didn't want the entire body to be on her, seeing how she was struggling and everything. So it was my asking myself, what can I bring to the table that got me into all of this, basically. But I stumbled on acting and of everything, I fell in love with it. So here I am.
So how exactly? I'd like to know how you actually got into it.
Okay, so for modeling, I think I was just walking on the street one day, and then some man approached me because I was really skinny. So you could really tell my height from afar. Like my neck was long. I was looking like what I had been through. And this man was just, passing by my street, and then he saw me on the other side, and he just crossed over and said, fine girl, would you like to be a model? And then the way I looked at him was like, do you know what you're even saying? Like, look at me, how I look. For you to be a model, you probably have to have some sort of training and everything. I know nothing about it. I was like, no, we can train you. I said, first off, Iyagbemisola does not like to hear anything that has to do with, so far it's not book, do not bring it close to her. I said, so if you can, talk to my mom, and she says yes, no problem. And I was like, where's your mom? I mean, she's upstairs. I said, you want to go and see her now? I said, the peace of the Lord be with you. He said, no, are you not coming? I said, no, you go and tell her yourself. And then, he matched up, and then I was expecting to hear bass, and I was not hearing any shouting. I said, So I went upstairs, and she was seeing him out, and she just looked at me in my mind. I'm like, when this man leaves, this woman is going to beat the hell out of me. He left, and she didn't say anything. She just goes, so time will audition in Lola. I'm like, kill audition. Said, he said that, there's an audition tomorrow, he wants you to come for it. And I said, I don't know anything. I only told him to come and speak to you. He said, no problem now, since he has spoken to me. I'm like, okay. I think that was one of the early stages I realized that, my mom wasn't who I thought she was. You know how mothers are always very disciplined and how they like you to just do what they want you to do. So all my life I've always felt, okay, it is what mommy says that goes. Even with my father, it had always been, go and ask your mother. So it's what mommy says that goes. But that kind of made me see that, maybe if I just was vocal enough to tell her, okay, this is what I want to do, she would let me. And that was how the journey started. I went for the audition. I won. I was the first face of Spice television. That was how I started. And then I enjoyed it. I grew up with boys, so having to be among girls and see how they fought, how they spoke, the cat fights and everything was kind of intriguing. So that kind of reeled me in. And from there, I just started going for auditions. I went for MBJ, and I did MBJ, and I did like almost 10 pageants.
Wow.
Won at least 7.
Each time you tell your mom that you were going for a pageant.
Yeah, but she used to see the prize, the money that I used to bring back home. So to her, she didn't, and the money was helping. And she knew where I was going. And she knew what I was doing. I used to tell people I made my first million at 15.
Wow.
Shout out to Mommy Gbemisola.
What did you buy?
What did I buy? My first million, I gave everything to my mom, actually.
Oh.
I kept giving my mom, which was why I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I lacked nothing. There was nothing I told my mom I wanted that she would not, in her power, try to. And the one she didn't have, we knew was because she didn't have. And, we were kind of raised with contentment. I believe contentment is key. My dad would tell you, if you have just 2 jeans and your neighbor has 10, that's so you can wear it and they will still envy you. Sure. So that's it, if you're contented with it, So that was the mentality I grew up with. So up until I think I was 21 or 22, I used to give everything I made to my mom because I felt like she needed it more, and if I needed anything, I could always, go to her, and then she was going to provide. Yeah.
So how was the first audition for movies now?
So for movies, it was by mistake. So it was Iyagbemisola again. So I remember I had a friend that was into acting. And I knew that, okay, that was another way of making money that I haven't even tapped into. So my now husband had friends that, knew about African Magic auditions and everything. So they just said, okay, this audition is happening and everything. But I didn't go with the mind of auditioning. I just wanted to see her off and then see how, the process was till I could find my ground and the confidence enough to walk into the audition. And then I told my mom, and she goes, what time? And I told my mom 4. And as a Yoruba girl, the moment you tell your mother you're getting home at 4, 3:30 be home. Like that, I don't know about every other person, but for my mother, 3:30, let her see you knocking the door and you're walking in. At 4 o'clock, you must be inside the house. So I kind of told her 4, and she said, okay, no problem. And then the audition was at Maryland, and I went for this audition. And then we got there, and then I saw over 1,000 people. And I'm like, what's going on? Is there fire? Is there? And then she goes, no, that's the audition. I said, audition. And then they gave her number. She was like, number 600. I said, me, I will wait 600. I said, okay, let's see how it goes. Maybe they have a way they share it or speeding it up. And then I was there. I couldn't enter with her because she was the one auditioning. So I had to help her keep her bags and stuff. There was a canopy for us to wait outside. And I was waiting. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I said, 3:30. I said to me, Bamilini, I said, I'm already even dead. Let me just look for the excuse that I'm going to. So in my mind, I turned off my phone because I didn't want my mom to even have the conversation with me at all. I knew I had to go. So I wanted to enter into the audition space. They said I couldn't enter into it except I was auditioning. So I said, okay, no problem. Let me write my name. At least by the time I get inside, before it gets to my turn, this girl will probably be coming out. So I wrote my name and I got on the line. And on the line were like, maybe like 50 people just going in after the other different rooms. And then this line was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And my friend was nowhere to be found. I said, what is going to happen? But I just had it at the back of my mind that she was going to come out before I entered into it. And then there was one person ahead of me and I'm like, do I turn back now, or do I, like, what's going to happen? And then before I knew it, this girl opened the door. She was coming out and they were letting me in.
Whoa.
And I looked at her like, by the time I come out, you are dead. I hope you know. So I entered into this space. I was standing there blank. I didn't know what I had come to do. And then I would never forget, I saw Sanchez. Now he was right in front, and some other 2 people, and I was just in front of them. And I go, oh, hello, hi. What's your name? I think I've seen you before. I said, yes, I'm a video vixen. I used to work with, Sanchez used to be an artist then. It's like, I used to work with Clarence. I was like, okay. That's where I know you from. Okay, so what do you have prepared for us? Do you have a monologue? Or I'm like, sir, what is monologue? And then they all looked at me like, what are you doing here? Like, I was like, anyway, just, is there something you have prepared for us? Do you want to act something? I'm like, I've never acted. They said, why you? I said, my friend is, anyway, they just do anything. And then I did anything. I don't even remember what I did, but I knew it didn't make sense. They said thank you. I was not expecting to hear from them. Even I didn't want to see them again. So I said, okay, thank you very much. I went out, carried my bag, saw this girl. I said, in your life, this is the end of our friendship because the cane I'm going to chop today because of you. Eventually, I got home. As usual, my mom yelled, where have you been? And I just told her, this was how we went and everything. Sha said, okay, no problem. But the deed had been done. A month down the line, I get a call from Africa Magic. And they go, oh, sorry, is this Scarlet? I wasn't married then. Scarlet Shotadi. I said, yes. So, we're calling from Africa. I said, oh, I know. You're trying to reach my friend, right? He said, no, we're trying to reach you. I said, no, she must have dropped my name as next. I even forgot that I had auditioned. He said, no, you're the one we're trying to reach. We have a role for you. So I'm like, okay, no problem. What did my sister for mommy by? I said, no problem. And then I went to meet my mom. I'm like, mommy, remember that audition I went for? She said, yes. Okay. She thought I wanted to tell her I was escorting my friend again. I said, no, it's not that. Africa Magic just called me now and said they have a role for me. They want me to come. My mom said, Africa Magic. I said, yes. Oh, they shocked because she's scam. That's the festival. Are they kidnappers? Something. They said, is there a number I can call? I said, yes, there's a number. The number that called me. So she called them back. They said it was legit. I went for it. I thought it was going to be like another screening too. And lo and behold, it wasn't a screening. They just handed me my script and that's how I got my first lead role. I'm like,
what year was this?
This was, it was after Dollhouse. So it was like 2015.
Wow.
Your friend, did she ever get into the movie industry?
She never did.
Wow.
Never.
Wow.
So somewhere deep down inside of me, I still, when I run into her, kind of feel guilty. Like, I'm leaving
Are you
your
still
life.
friends?
Oh, yes, we are. But I just kind of feel like, I hope she doesn't have some sort of resentment that, I kind of stole her life. I don't think I stole it, but yeah. That. So, mostly if you're listening now, I'm sorry.
Interesting. That's an interesting one. I know I've read a lot about, playing the role of Wura, season 1, season 2. And it's a role that has put you there.
Thank you.
I wouldn't say it would be the best. I believe more roles will still
Amen.
come that will make you bigger than this. But this has put you on that spotlight for everybody to see. So I want to know in particular, how do you prepare, for that role or for those roles? For the scenes, not the role, for the scenes.
Because Wura was just
Wura,
evil.
exactly.
Wura was just evil.
I remember you particularly said it was the hardest thing you had ever done.
Ever.
And you gave some practical examples of what
Ever.
you went through on set.
Ever.
I want you to relive those memories. Yeah, some of those
Okay,
memories.
so for me, I auditioned for Wura 7 times. It wasn't 7 times. It wasn't the easiest audition. I got the general call for the audition. I went. I walked into the space and I was seeing veterans and already mint faces. In my mind, I'm like, I hope I didn't come into the wrong space. And that's the first time they were ever calling me for a closed audition. Because for us actors, closed auditions are the bigger type of auditions. Excuse me. And I'm like, and I'm seeing them, Givon Jege there, the rest of them, I'm like, okay, so maybe it's Wakapa's role. It can't be that they want us to read for the same, role. And then they hand me the script, and I'm seeing a 47-year-old woman, and this is me at 30, and I'm looking at it like, okay, definitely the wrong script. Let me just play along, And then I asked the lady that handed me the script. I said, "Oh, sorry, I'm Scarlet. This role says the character is 47." I said, "Yes, that's the role." That was the first Egbami moment for me. In my mind, I started freaking out, like, how in the world am I supposed to play a 47-year-old woman? This is me, a 30-year-old that has never given birth. I don't even know what it means to have grown-up children and everything. But then I went for the audition. I read my lines, and while I was reading my lines, there was somebody opposite the camera that was crying. And that was the first time ever in my life I was getting a first-hand reaction. So in my mind, I'm like, I definitely probably am doing something right or reading it the way they want me to read it, So I just left it on the table, and while I was reading, Mr. Fred Amata walks in, and then he stayed for my audition, and I auditioned, and I was about leaving. And then they said, "Oh yeah, thank you very much, that's the end of your audition, we'll call you if anything." I said, "Okay, thank you." My man, as I was turning back, I said, with all these faces that me I am seeing, it's impossible. So as I was leaving, kind of dejected, Mr. Fred Amata ran out and comes to me and said, "You were the lady that just read now?" I said, "Yes." Said, "Oh, I just want to shake your hands and I'm wondering what's going on." Said, "Just in case I never get the chance to, I know when I'm in front of greatness." And I said, lo and behold, I have goosebumps talking. I just busted out crying because I didn't, this is someone I grew up all my life watching. If anybody should be doing anything, it should be me, the other way around, And I just took that as a word of confirmation from God. That, okay, I did the right thing, And then they called the second time, I auditioned, they cut us down, 3rd time, 4th time. The 5th time, they told me to come for chemistry test for me and the fellow actors. I went. And then the 6th time, I was expecting to get a call to say, "Oh, you've been given the role." And then I get this call that goes, "Oh, sorry, with all the consideration we've had to make, we're sorry we're not going to give you the role because, you're way younger than the character." In my mind, I'm like, oh, now you know that I'm younger than the character. The first time, 2nd time, 3rd time, 4th time, 5th time, you guys didn't realize it. It's now that you realize that. So I was dejected. I remember locking myself in the bathroom and just crying. Because for me, I felt like this was a big platform. If this is not it, then when am I getting the break, I cried, and then my husband kept knocking on the door. "Just come out, let me talk to you." I'm like, "No, blah, blah, blah." Eventually, I just went to work, forgetting and leaving it in the past. Like, it's not meant to be, And then one day on set, I just get a call from Mr. Rogers of me, and then he goes, "Scarlett, where are you? What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm on set." And he goes, can you come for another audition for Wura?" I said, "Mr. Rogers, with all due respect, sir, I am not doing." He says, "No way." I said, "I don't want to know. I don't care if it is the owner of Showmax that is going to be there or says I should come. I am not coming. What you did not see the 1st, 2nd, or the 5th time, or the 6th time, you're not going to see the 7th time. Why am I coming?" And he goes, "Let's just try and age you a bit with makeup and see what." I said, "Mr. Rogers, out of respect for you, I'm going to come, but you are the only reason I'm coming." So I went there In fact, I know for a fact I did not do my best because I was not even trying to do my best. I just wanted to respect Mr. Rogers. So I was like this on the chair when they were doing the makeup. I'm like, just do what you have to do so I can't leave here. And then they gave me the script. I said, is this it? I said, yes. They said, read. I read it. I said, is that all? They said, yes. I said, thank you. And I left. Only for them to call me back and said, I got the role. I'm like, okay, maybe God was just trying to play some pranks with me. And then I got on set. I remember freaking out to my husband, like, how am I going to play this role? This character is nothing like I've played before. She's really deep. She's 47. She has 3 grown-up children. Children that are, the last one itself is very close to my age mate. How am I supposed to do this? And then he goes, don't worry, we'll work through it together. Maybe you watch some films that have similar characters, or, you know, just talk to me about it, and then me, I'll tell you what I feel about the character, and then like, and day to day it was just me bouncing it around with my husband, and I'm praying to God every day, God, please don't let me mess up, don't let me mess up, don't let me mess up. But it was really hard because we kept getting constant calls from, you know, the showrunners saying, oh, you're not poised enough, oh no, you're not this enough, and all of that. And then knowing that I'm a titular character, the entire project was riding on my back. If I mess it up, I mess it up for every other person. I don't know if that's also their one chance at getting it right. So there was a lot of pressure on me that a lot of people didn't see. I would cry myself to sleep, cry myself to wake, and everything. After Wura, I told people, I did therapy. It wasn't easy having to get into the character because I was in Ife for 1 year. For like, that I stepped out of the, I'm not even saying out of Ife, that I stepped out of the compound maybe twice. Once was to go to Lagos for my normal check, health check, and the second was when I got nominated for AMVC. Every day I was on set. Wake up, 7:30 I'm on makeup chair. Sometimes we shoot to 4:30 a.m. the next morning, and 7:30 I'm back on makeup chair. So it was really gruesome. But it was all hands on deck. Everybody did what they had to do, and thank God I'm here today. It was tough.
So how would you describe the impact
that
Wura has given to you?
I'm not even going to lie. I thank God for how much and how far Wura has brought me. Yet it has been the biggest project I've ever been on, and it has opened doors that I didn't even think were open, like were impossible to open. You know, people take me more seriously now. My face is there. You cannot ignore me. If you do not see me on your TV, you will see me on the posters. If you don't see me on the posters, you will hear my voice on radio, as you are hearing it now. So I've come to stay, and you guys don't have anywhere to push me. Long and short.
Okay, so a lot of actors run away from TV series because of the length of time it takes to produce it. And it takes a lot of time from you as an actor. You can't do much when you're working on it. Are you ever going to take on a job like this? And then, what kind of roles are you looking for now? Especially seeing as you have conquered one role that many actors have not even experienced their entire career.
Okay, so for me as an actor, I don't believe there's anything or any role as an actor that you should not be able to or be willing to want to play. As an actor, you're a blank canvas, basically. You're left for the artists, that's the director or the writers or whatever, to paint whatever they want to on you. And as a paper, you can't say, oh no, don't draw on me, or I only accept red paint, or I only accept purple paint. You accept all type of paints, basically. So as an actor, yes, there's no role that I'm not willing to play. As for roles that I would want to play, the more challenging it is, the better for me. I love challenge. The scarier it is, the more adrenaline pump I get, and the more I go, oh, can I do this? Can I not? There are very few roles that make us as an actor feel that way. For the YouTube films that we do, it's not like they're not challenging. Yes, the time, the effort, they also have to be realistic and believable. So we put the effort into it. But it's not as challenging as the big projects where, you know, we have more days to achieve what we want. For YouTube, we have like 4 days. So either you do it, get it right, or you keep it moving. But for those ones, you don't get it right. You do it over and over till you get it right. I remember a scene in Wura. That was the scene where I killed Pa Olukuti. The river had granite under it, and I kept kneeling on granite, and it kept cutting me, and I was bleeding. And we had to do take 1, take 2, take 3. And then we finally got it right with my knee bruised. And then we went back on set. And then the next day they're telling me, oh, the shot was not nice. You have to go and shoot it again. So imagine going to kneel on a wound that has started healing and you have to do it again. So it's things like that. But guess what? I enjoyed it. Those are the kind of things that I look forward to in my job. Things that look like it's not impossible. If it is possible, then anybody can do it. That doesn't make me different from you. If they give you the script, then you can do it. What makes you look at the job and go, oh my God, you did amazingly well, is knowing that if they put me in this situation, I probably won't do it as well as this. Right. And I just pray those kind of roles will come and they will find me, because yes, I'm sitting and I'm waiting for you people to come. I'm tired of playing boyfriend, snatching girlfriend, ask me this wicked and all of that. And I'm tired of playing wicked roles. That's another thing that I really, because I've started turning down scripts now, because I just noticed that it's a thing in Nigeria. Once they notice that you play a character well, they start to typecast you or bring those type of roles to you. And this is me saying publicly now, if you all can hear me, I am tired. Give me something else. I'm capable of so much more, I think.
Okay, so I
hope I answered all your
questions.
questions.
Yes, you did. So two questions in one now, because I can see my producer pointing at something, but we will ask all the questions we can ask. So you mentioned your husband a couple of times in this conversation. It's good to know that you're married.
Thank
you're
you.
married to somebody you really love, and
So she's off the
I
market.
see as
I am. You people don't come.
I see as a friend.
Yeah.
You know. So is your husband also entertainment inclined? One.
Oh yes. Yes.
Then 2, he is. Yeah, so my second question is right then. I think I learned from some people that your husband used to, I don't know if he's still the manager for Lekon, the winner of Big Brother Nigeria at some point, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I wanted to know the relationship
Between
between
Okay, so my husband is a lot more than just Lekon's manager. Currently, he's not even Lekon's manager anymore. It was just for the time being.
okay.
My husband is an A&R, a music A&R, and he, Rogba, and Larry owns Night House. I don't know if you remember Night House, the Rebel Label Mocheda and music.
Yeah.
So that's their thing. They practically do everything sound, from music to film scores and all of that. So yes, it's in the entertainment industry, and it kind of just makes it easier for me being with him as a partner, because I really don't have to explain a lot of things or try to make him see my world. If I tell him, he already understands, so I don't have the issues the people that are married to non-entertainment people would have, which I think is a blessing as well.
Was that one of the considerations for the choice?
Not at all. Not at all. I think the greatest consideration for the choice was the fact that he was my number one supporter. Beyond my mom, he was the other person that I had ever come across in my life that was willing to support me no matter what I said I wanted to do. Excuse my French, if I wake up tomorrow and tell my husband I'm tired of acting, I want to become a stripper, he would ask me, does it make you happy? If I say yes, he will probably be the one to go and buy me the heels. That's the kind of person I'm married to. So yes, I think I'm fortunate and I'm thankful for that.
How did you meet?
Okay, so this is the first time I'm ever going to say this. We met at the studio. I was dating one of his artists. Yes.
Okay.
And we actually did not like each other. We started off hating each other. I didn't like his guts. He didn't like my guts. I broke up with his artists, and I wanted to pursue music.
Okay.
So I hung around the studio wanting to pursue music. And then in the process of them being involved in my music, I got to know who he was, and I'm like, he's not a bad person, you know. And we started talking, and something led to the next. We started liking each other, and here we are.
So the song Catch Me was for him.
We wrote it together. It wasn't for him, but we wrote it together. He's an amazing writer, by the way.
Interesting. It would interest our listeners to know that Scarlet was on, I think, an episode or 2 of the popular basketball show on.
I was on 3 seasons.
On 3 seasons,
I was
yeah.
there for 3 years.
You are landlord's first daughter. Yes,
Fadike.
exactly.
Second
Fadike.
daughter. Yeah.
Second daughter. That's Fadike on.
Flatmates.
Flatmates. In
Flatmates,
case
yeah.
you don't know,
Yes,
that's the first.
yes.
The same Wura.
Yes,
Who used to be that same Wura?
Oh yeah, she asked a question that I wanted to answer that I knew.
Oh,
that
yeah,
I was
the
leaving
TV,
this
the
TV
length
series.
of- yeah.
Yes. So for me, TV series is another aspect of filmmaking. Just like you have in Hollywood, you have actors. It's here in Nigeria that we like to generalize actors and say, "Oh, you must be popular as an actor." In Hollywood, you have TV series actors that you know for TV series, and that's all they're known for. You have actors that are known for the cinema films, the ones that go to Hollywood and all of that. For me, I want to be everything. But I feel like I have just found my bearing in TV series. But if any other thing comes, definitely. I have like 4 films coming out in the cinema this year. The first to drop is Iyabo Ojo's movie called Labake Olududu. You guys are not even ready.
Oh.
I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys are going to see me in another light, in a different character. It's epic. So this first time anybody's going to be seeing me speak Oyo, Yoruba, and see me like nitty gritty. I'm used to the classy Wura. This time to see the other side of Scarlet.
Interesting. Oh, the other name, the other titles?
There's Labake Oludodo. I think that's all by contract
to.
allowed to
Oh,
see
okay.
for
Okay, I
them.
think
Understandable.
I was, like this question. Remember, I was going to bring you back to it, and I was going to add, like
Yeah.
you said something about, YouTube films, which
Yeah.
people think. YouTube is not the dumping ground for movies. You do movies in 2 days, 3 days, you're done, and you put it on. In your experience, you've been exposed to the structured, part of Nollywood, and now you've also been exposed to the dumping ground of Nollywood. How does this impact the industry? Seeing people just set up YouTube TV. and
Okay, so
they just
first off,
dump
I
movies,
like
yeah.
to say that YouTube is a very important space. And I feel like a lot of people make light of the fact that YouTube is actually an important space. If we take YouTube to be as important as it is, I don't see any reason why we should not start getting commissioned for YouTube originals. They're YouTube originals. They're films sponsored by YouTube.
True.
And I feel like we're churning out a lot of content right now that they might actually start looking into that now that Netflix is not in Nigeria anymore. But I feel like just like you would go to the cinema and watch a film and go, oh my God, what did I just watch? I wasted my money. It's the same way you go to YouTube and say, oh my God, what did I just watch? But the fact that a lot of people use it for their dumping grounds doesn't mean there are no serious content. In fact, I watch a lot of content on YouTube I think are better off the stuff I have seen on Netflix. Production-wise, story-wise. Take, for instance, Ruth Kadiri.
Yeah.
A lot of our films could have easily gone to Netflix and bodied some of the films that we see on Netflix, and we're asking, how did it get here? Right? So I feel like it's a serious space, and the people that take it seriously, and the ones that make fun of it. But time will tell. Eventually, you get to see. I feel like there will be a siphon. The real ones would be
Rise above the
Right
water.
above the
exactly.
rest of the
I
shop.
feel like for every model that is tired of acting just goes, oh, I'm tired of acting, I'm tired of modeling, I want to act. Oh, I finished Big Brother, I want to act. I mean no disrespect, because I've acted with a Big Brother actor, Cross, I'm going to mention, he's a fantastic actor. I didn't even see it coming. That's another film I have coming out with him. But also, I would also like for people to take our craft seriously, just like we take every other. You won't see them say, oh, this person is an amazing actor, so they should come and perform instead of Burna Boy. They would never do that. So I don't think we should do that to our industry as well.
Okay, that's interesting. It's been an interesting time
Thank you.
with Wura.
Thank you so much.
With Wura Star, not Wura.
When you call me Wura now, I'll answer. That's what everybody calls you.
It's been an interesting time with her. She shared some things we do not know with you, our listeners. And as always, you are always the first to hear those things. The
little
celebs
tidbits.
never get to tell you. Even on their Instagram page, they never get to tell you.
Yeah.
But you hear it first on Nollywood on radio. And on that note, we say thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
Thank you, our listeners, for your time.
Thank you.
And we will be closing the show for this week with my co-host, Mr. Rotimi Ige, aka Roy, as well as my fantastic co-host, Tommy Falade.
Hello.
Hi.